uncomfortable living people. All over the world, we about to go. Truth is coming out this.
Yeah, you ain't see that. I don't know if you saw that clip I posted this week. The brother who's on the Breakfast Club, he basically was talking about how the athletes, the entertainers, how they need to shut the hell up. They need to basically stop doing this and be more educated before they actually do that.
It's in here?
It's in the
we need to play that right now. It's the perfect time. Come on, man.
Tell us. Let them tell us.
It's the perfect time. We seeing a freaking wrap up there talking about some Trump, the best person ever.
Right.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, he called them S-hole countries.
Right.
Shooting paper towels at people after a hurricane. Like, what that's what we need sandbags. I don't know what a paper towel gonna do with a hurricane flooding. But
yeah, it was gonna soak up all the water.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Post the video. We need it. We need it because that is who they target. They target dumb Negroes and Hispanics who don't understand politics and don't understand that these politicians are not for us.
Message.
All they want is to get your vote. Anybody of influence, and we've seen this before. Give me that second Maccabees. Get that ready.
Yep, get
that ready in second Maccabees.
Yep. Because they know where their bread is buttered at.
Right,
so
exactly.
They're going to keep that bread coming.
Exactly. They got it yet? All right, cool. Go ahead, press play on that.
He's
Eric Dyson, right?
Yeah, yep. He's addressing basically how they use politics and they use our people, and our people basically uneducated, and how it makes us look as a nation.
Right.
Clarity with which he said it. I know his intent was right, but sometimes you could just be spreading misinformation that ain't helpful to us as a people. So read. And this is why I know this sounds self-serving as a black intellectual, but I'm 65 years old. I've been out here on this battlefield for 40 years. And I'm telling you, I'm trying to make the life of the mind sexy to young people. I want them to see you ain't just got to be a rapper, which is important. You ain't just got to be an entertainer, which is great. You ain't got to be a singer. You ain't got to be an athlete. You could be an intellectual, a thinker, a person who puts on every day a thinking cap and tries to reflect upon the world. There's something virtuous about that. And I'm unapologetic about that because I think we need more of that now in an era when disinformation, AI, the creation of deep fakes, and the perpetuation of legacies of inequity through means to dominate the masses has to be examined. So we got to go back to old school. Think about Noam Chomsky and manufacturing consent. And think about these great books, Marshall McLuhan, in terms of talking about the media, and the medium is the message. That's the kind of stuff we got to think critically about as we move forward.
You know what's interesting about what you said, Brother Dyson? Most of your favorite entertainers are rappers that people like. You like them because they're intellectual.
Right.
Whether you deem them an academic intellectual or not, you like Pac, you like Killer Mike, you like Jay-Z, you like Nas, you Scarface. These brothers are intellectuals.
Lauryn Hill. I mean,
yeah.
That's a great point. And that's why I dig them. I've written books about half of them. Why? Because they're thoughtful. Pac was amazing on that microphone, but boy, he's up here talking about American government. I mean, at 22.
Pause. Now, before y'all start praising Tupac.
Yep.
He's still a nigga.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
But anyway, go. It's almost done anyway. Let it finish.
23, 24. The son of a Black Panther. He said, I was literally born in jail because his mother was one of.
So, go ahead. I'll let you reflect on it.
Yeah, and that's what he was going through earlier is that, like Charlamagne was saying, that all of our favorite rappers, or per se, when we was in the world, like he was mentioning Lauryn Hill and Tupac, they use them in a political sense today to push the agendas. But back then, they don't know that a lot of our people was actually trying to use their platform to fight against the oppression.
There you go.
So now today, he was saying that a lot of our people, they don't no longer have the same approach as a Tupac or a Lauryn Hill. Now they just doing whatever the hell the agenda is, and they going along with it.
Right.
So even like you were saying, Cap, even with that, they using the most wicked of our people in the world to push whatever they trying to push.
There you go.
So if they knew the laws of God, one, they wouldn't even be getting entangled with that. Get in 2 Corinthians where it says equally yoked, be not
6.
Yeah, 6.
Yep.
Get that real quick.
Hey, IT, look up Fight the Power lyrics.
14.
You going back there now.
Yeah.
You going back there.
Yeah, I got to make you feel at home, Cap.
That made me feel at home right there.
Look up Fight the Power lyrics.
2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communication had light with darkness?
So the communion with the darkness, meaning these politicians, they ain't got nothing good for our people. All they trying to do is push an agenda so they can continue what society has set up for us. He said misinformation spread through politics. That's one of the notes I got. That's what they've been doing for us for years. And they're going to keep using our people until we wake up.
Yep. So, y'all saw the image of the two rappers that was just up there. They rolling up blunts,
Right.
smoking weed in the club, dressed in American clothing. They fit in what's going on. So, scroll down. I just want to get to the chorus. All right, read that for me, Gadio, with your best rapping voice.
Fight the power lyrics. Fight the power.
Fight the power. So we went from fight the power to not vote for the power.
Right.
And y'all mean to tell me that modern day artists ain't paid off?
Right.
Come on, man. This is written in 1989. At now, what that is? That's 30 years ago, 34 years ago, 35 years ago. So in the span of 35 years, we went from fight the power to now you standing up beside Donald Trump. You twerking for Kamala Harris. All these different things have taken place. They have hijacked the music. Go ahead.
Fight the power. 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 We've got to fight the powers that be.
So we went from fight the powers that be. And Cap, you was in your prime during this time.
I was a young man.
Was this a major song?
Hey, not only was it a major song, man, we pushed that thing everywhere.
Yeah.
We pushed that thing everywhere.
Wow.
And you know, a lot of my brothers, we was militant at that time.
Right.
Very militant young men. But what was it Eric Dyson?
Yeah.
What he failed to realize is intellectualism, as he's pushing, and I'm not saying he's wrong, but it don't pay.
Yeah.
And them brothers don't want nothing but to get paid.
Yep.
Right.
Hey, that's a great point, Cap. Give me that Ecclesiastes, the gift to stroke the heart.
Yeah.
Hey, you 100 because Eric Dyson, he just so happened he used to be the head of the NAACP, if I'm not incorrect. And he done other things. It does pay, but what he's saying, what he doesn't understand is you still gonna serve the same system.
Right.
You just doing it. It's just like the pastor.
Right.
What do you do when you done being a drug dealer? You become a pastor.
Right.
And guess who you serving? The white man. That's it.
Let me rephrase it. I see what you're saying, but it pays at a later stage.
Yeah, you're
at
right. You don't get it right now.
You ain't getting it right
Nah. It takes you time. It take you time in that, because to be a true intellectual is just like how Bishop always say, you got to have experience. You got to be studied. You got to read books.
Right.
You got to write books. It takes time to get to those levels. Like Bishop has written books.
Right.
He's read books, many. And to get to that level, it takes time, and black people don't like time. We don't like waiting on our turn. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
Read it again.
Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
Oppression makes a wise man mad. Read.
And a gift.
And a what?
And a gift.
And a gift does what?
Destroyeth the heart.
That's what he ain't understanding. That gift that comes with being, I can be 17 now, make a TikTok video and go viral. And I'm getting money. Why would I sit here and try to go to college and sit here and be a GA and an intellectual and be a professor and then be a professor elect and then climb up the chain? They don't want to do all that. And you ain't getting paid. That's like even being a doctor now. Black people be turned off at that. They're like, man, I got to go to school for 4 years. Then I got to go to med school. Then I got to go to what they call it, residency.
Right, be a resident. Yeah.
Resident.
All of that. Yeah.
They don't see at the end of it, there's something that's greater than everything. That title, that status, and being able to help your people at a drop of a dime, that's priceless. Because you know how many programs Esau get because they know somebody that can sign something for them immediately. It is more than a shock you. But we don't have people like that we know. Black people can't touch a doctor. You don't know what they look like. Don't know what they sound like. All you know is Esau. But that's powerful. Those positions, lawyers, doctors, so on and so forth. Go ahead.
So you had songs like "Fight the Power." Before that, you had Curtis Blow singing about the things that we seen in our communities growing up. You had when all the rappers got together. You remember the Officer Housey? All the rappers got together. Self-destruction. They were coming together and they were saying, you know what, we got to make some changes. Right. That's what we were singing about, right? And then what does Esau do? He comes right behind that with Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney. About Ebony and Ivory. And
we are
the world, and
rock you to sleep.
Let's rock everybody back to sleep. And so it works. And so what do? They go right down there into the ghetto, right? And they pull out the rappers, and they get to endorse people that any other time he would never have no access to Trump.
Nah.
You're right. Never.
Mm-hmm. No access to Trump.
Trump don't know who he is right now.
Right.
No. What's his name?
Annuel AA.
You ask Trump right now, hey, what'd you think about Annuel AA? He'd be like,
most popular Negro.
he could have BS.
Call him up now.
Yeah.
Manuel.
Right.
He was good.
Right.
Fine. He's a fine man. But yeah, they just use us. Give me that Maccabees. I want to show y'all that. This is an old trick they've been using before time. You find whoever got influence, and you push your doctrine behind them.
Poor righteous teachers. Yep. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. But yeah, y'all absolutely right.
What they say, watch who you trail your hitch or cash your hitch to or whatever the saying goes. But anyway, that's what they do. That's what they do nowadays. Y'all got it? Maccabees. Eleazar, the aged man. They wanted him to eat pork.
Yeah.
Come on. I asked for this 20 minutes ago. You supposed to have your hand on it.
Second Maccabees chapter 6 and verse, you want to start at 18?
Yeah, we'll start earlier.
Eleazar, one of the principal scribes.
That's the key part. But because back then you had to have some age behind you to even get respect and honor and authority. But today's society, you don't need that. All you need is 1 million followers on TikTok, a few hit songs, and you good. Matter of fact, give me that in Isaiah about tell the young man with the gay clothing to be our leader. That tells you the state that we're in. You know what else also, Cap, that lets you know that we ain't a nation of people? The people that they're using, they all young people.
Right.
Where's the aged men and aged women of our community that they're going to cast the vision to everybody? They ain't going to Ben Crump. They ain't going to Al Sharpton. They ain't calling on none of them. They're like, them old, ain't nobody listening to them old Negroes no more. They ain't calling on none of our aged leaders. Y'all got it?
Yes, sir.
Read that.
James chapter 2 and verse 13.
What? Is he serious right now?
Oh, my
Didn't I say Isaiah 3? Maybe I'm slipping. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
I could have sworn I said Isaiah.
Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 6.
I could have sworn I said Isaiah. I don't know. I may be wrong.
When a man shall take hold of his brother of the house of his father, saying, thou hast clothing, be thou our ruler.
That's where we at today. Thou hast clothing, be thou our ruler. Because what? Megan Thee Stallion. This little girl, she just graduated college, I think a year ago. She still got boyfriend shooting her in the foot. You mean to tell me she the person that's going to give you the mindset of who you need to be your leader? Come on, man. Read.
When a man shall take hold of his brother of the house of his father, saying, thou hast clothing, be thou our ruler.
Read.
And let this ruin be under thy hand. In that day shall he swear, saying, I will not be an healer. For in my house is neither bread nor clothing. Make me not a ruler of the people.
That's where we're at today. That is where we're at today as a people. Jump up to verse 4.
Verse 4. And I will give children to be their princes.
That's where we at today. Children. Like we said, we showing you all the people that the politicians are calling on. They young nobodies that nobody know. They ain't stepped a foot. Like the brother Eric Dyson. He said, I've been doing this for 40 years. Now, granted, it's been all white supremacy. But 40 years, you respect the fact that, okay, you showing your discipline in whatever it is that you're doing. that offers some type of respect. But now Esau like, I don't even care about that because we in this microwave era and generation that I can get whoever pops up. What was the two twins, the two light-skinned twins a few years ago? The Island Boys. Island Boy. They was millionaires overnight, making money everywhere. I'm pretty sure if it was a campaign year, they would have had them up there. Yep. Whoever. And guess what? Somebody would have said, "Oh, they said they're gonna vote for such and such. I'm gonna vote for them too." Right. That's what the Bible speaks about. Read it again.
Isaiah chapter 3, verse 4. And I will give children to be their princes. And babes shall rule over them.
And babes shall rule over them. Now go back to Maccabees. Because I'm showing you, how did we get to the point that now we're using these young men, these young women that don't know anything? Because as a nation, we've been destroyed. But the fact of using whoever has influence to push their agenda, that's an old trick that's been used since the beginning of time. You got it?
2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 18. Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man.
An aged man, because our people had common sense back then. Because we had elders, we had the ancient, we had the honorable, we had the men of war. You imagine being a 40-year-old man, you've been to war a few times, you don't killed a few men, and you listening to a little girl telling you who to vote for to be the leader of the people. Imagine that. But guess what? Black people are doing that. Go ahead.
An aged man and of well-favored countenance was constrained to open his mouth to eat swine's flesh.
Read.
But he, choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination, spit it forth. And came of his own accord to the torment.
Read.
As it behooved them to come that are resolute to stand out against such things as are not lawful for the love of life to be tasted.
So they tried to constrain him to eat pork to force everybody else to do the same. He said, you know what? Hey, I'm not doing it. Read.
Verse 21. But they that had the charge of that wicked feast, for the old acquaintance they had with the man, taking him aside, besought him to bring forth flesh of his own provision, such as was lawful for him to use.
So they said, hey, listen, man, come up here. You can speak on our behalf, and guess what? We'll let you eat clean food. But everybody else gonna think that it's pork. But you ain't got to break the law. Go ahead.
And make as if he did eat of the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king.
Read.
That in so doing, he might be delivered from death. And for the old friendship with them find favor.
This also lets you know that our people, he had wisdom. He was friends with these people, meaning what? He wasn't a nigga.
Right.
And he still kept his integrity amongst being in that high position. Read.
But he began to consider discreetly, and as became his age, and the excellency of his ancient years, and the honor of his gray head, whereunto he was come, and his most honest education from a child, or rather the holy law, made and given by God.
Read.
Therefore he answered accordingly, and willed them straightways to send him to the grave.
So he said, hey, I don't give a damn about our friendship. I don't care about none of that. Listen, it's you or God, and I'm choosing God. A lot of our people say that, but they ain't about that. How do we know? We keep seeing these artists and everybody else who they ain't saying vote for God. They ain't saying, when they say I want to thank God, they don't say nothing about God when it's politician season. Ain't nobody say we want to put this election in the hand of God. They say vote for Trump, vote for Kamala. Whoever writing the check, that's who they pushing. Read.
For it becometh not our age, said he, in any wise to disassemble, whereby many young persons.
Many what?
Yep. Many young persons.
Many young persons. That is what they are seeking in getting these musical artists, these athletes, so on and so forth. They want the young mind. And that's why it's so important that y'all support what we're doing here at I.U.I.C. Whether it's a radio show, whether it's a camp video, whether it's a documentary, whether it's the Booster Club. Because we understand we are after the minds of the young people. Revolution comes from young. Ain't no 80-year-old man out there starting no revolution. Hate to break it down to you, brothers, but it ain't happening. It's the Bishop Kanai say it all the time. He said it's a young man's game.
It is. Yeah.
We got to make sure we are active in whatever it is, whatever the young people doing. That's where we got to be at. We got to be at, and we do it well. And you young brothers and sisters that's here, guess what? Y'all got to give insight to the older people. Let us know. Make sure we in the right step, doing the right things. Go ahead.
whereby many young persons might think that Eleazar, being 80 years old and 10, were now gone to a strange religion.
To a what?
To a strange religion. And so they, through minded hypocrisy and desire to live a little time and a moment longer, should be deceived by me.
Read.
And I get a stain to mine old age and make it abominable.
So that's what it's about. Like I said, our forefathers and foremothers aforetime, they understood their power and their influence. Today, these young brothers and sisters that's getting these checks from Esau and these different political parties and candidates, they don't understand their power. They don't understand their influence. Somebody like LeBron, they got 170 million followers. Kyrie Irving, millions of followers. All these different musical artists, so on and so forth. They have a lot of influence, and they don't understand the power that they hold with their platform. If they were to ever repent, they could change a lot of stuff in a moment. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Cap, some of them is because they want the bag. They know that they ain't going to have the platform. That's the truth about it. They're going to have, like Bishop been bringing out about, like, you know, orphan camps and stuff like that. The truth about it is if you don't have a righteous age man above you, you're going to make some dumb mistakes. So those brothers, it's like when he was talking about the athletes or whatever. You would think somebody like LeBron would say, you know what, let me get with somebody that got wisdom. Let me come up under them. Nah. Instead, it's, I know if I do that, I'm going to lose this platform. I'm going to lose the checks. I'm going to lose all of that. So you know what? I'm going to stay ignorant, and I'm going to just talk out the side of my neck. That's all it is, because in a nutshell, America has to continue for them to have that platform.
There you go.
They don't want to give it up.
There you go.
They don't want to give it up.
They saw what happened to Colin Kaepernick. They saw what happened to Kanye when he spoke up about certain things. So they know there's a line. When you make a certain amount of money, you know what line to cross. That's why they give them handlers. All of them got handlers. Hey, don't talk about that.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. If Kaepernick did that when Fight the Power came out,
he'd have been love filled.
Yo, they would have tore up America with that.
Because everybody was willing. But now, this era today, can't do it.
Hey, get I want to back that up. Get Sirach 30:3, because a lot of times what you find is these young men, they don't have fathers, or they don't have strong fathers. Right. And it's easy to buy them off. Right. So they don't even know that they're perpetuating that same stereotype. And when we read about how in Psalms 49:11, how he say his lands would continue forever. And this is part of that process. Right. Go ahead, read that.
Sirach chapter 30 and verse 3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy.
Go ahead.
And before his friends he shall rejoice of him. Though his father died.
Now, it says though his father died, because he was taught by his father. He had a relationship with his father. Guess what? He didn't see his mother disrespecting his father. Go ahead.
Yet he is as though he were not dead, for he hath left one behind him that is like himself. While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him. And when he died, he was not sorrowful.
Verse 6 is the point.
He left behind him an avenger against his enemies.
See, that's not an avenger. That brother right there, just like so many of our other brothers, not an avenger. You're doing the work for them. Go ahead.
And one that shall requite kindness to his friends.
And shall requite kindness to his friends. So those avengers, that's telling you that the restoration of the household has got to be a priority. Right? Or else they're going to continue to be able to easily just pick off brothers. Right? And that's why another scripture, you don't have to get it, but it says folly is set in great dignity. You know, it's easy for that to happen.
100% correct. 100% correct.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time.